I know everyone is dying to know, and we have some exciting, exciting news for you guys here. So,
Something that I think a lot of people don't realize when it comes to consumer behaviors is like what makes a customer choose one brand over another. You think about it all the time. It's kind of one of those subconscious things, but what do you think makes one person pick one brand over the other?
oh man, that's such a good question, Allie. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes, and there's so much that goes on in our heads as a consumer, right? You and I, we study the psychology of consumer behavioralism, but the ordinary person doesn't really think about that. And there's so many things that really go into that. I would say, there's a lot of factors, but probably one of the factors would be the perception of a high value versus a low value item, right? So in the pet space, let's take a look at my pet peed. It's my pet peed is not the cheapest, but it's also not the most expensive. It's a little bit there on the higher end, but it's definitely not the cheapest. And so, as a consumer, when you're shopping around for that, and especially in the pet industry where there's a lot of humanization of pets, right? Meaning, and we've talked about it on our last
Mhm.
podcast episodes, but people are really treating their pets as though they are family, like rightfully so. They're a member of the family, and so you want to get the best products for them. You want to provide the best life and make sure that they're happy. And so all that comes into play. And so when they see a product that's the cheapest, most people, or a lot of people, when they see that, they'll think like, yes, there is that price savings, there is that cost savings there, but is it the best product? When I go and I shop and I see a cheaper product, I don't think it's the best product. I equate that in my head. I equate that as a lower value item, and I always equate something that's more higher priced as something that's of higher value, meaning it's more effective, right? It's very
Absolutely.
similar to when you go in a store and you see the knockoff versus name brand. Like Dove
Mhm.
soap versus
Mhm.
the name brand. I mean, not name brand, but the knockoff soap that's supposed to be like Dove soap, but it's not, right? You're
Mhm.
automatically going to think Dove is going to be a little bit better. And I think that that's just what people naturally think, and that's one factor that goes into psychology of consumerism.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think another fun example too that I like to think of is you look at, I think a lot of people pick based off experience too. So you have one of my favorite marketing examples is like Apple. A lot of people, it's an expensive product, so you know that, the experience that you're getting when you even open the box is incredible. So
Mhm.
I agree with you. I think sometimes that the cost of the product does influence people's decision. And I think it's a little tough right now because things are expensive, but I do think it's important to still remember that expensive products do still work. Sometimes the cheaper ones are cheap for that reason. So to be cautious of that.
Yeah, and in some cases, the cheaper products are just as good, if not better. So there's that
Mhm.
too. But like I said, it's that you're automatically going to think there's some mechanism, in your head that
Mhm.
tells you that because it is more expensive, there's higher value to it. Whether that's true or not, I mean, it's gonna depend on the product, the company,
Yeah.
etc. So I'm not trashing those companies whatsoever, but
No,
it is
100%,
what it is.
definitely.
Yeah, that is what it is. So,
Yeah, exactly.
awesome. Another thing is the emotional ties to brand loyalty. That's one that I wanted to bring up because there's some brands, just as you brought up Apple, right? There's some brands that you're just emotionally tied to for whatever reason. Whether that company has a mission that you just align with, whatever it is, that's the emotional part of buying that really affects our behavior as consumers. And so if you're tied to Apple, or if you're tied to, my pet peeve, because my pet peeve does a lot in the community, then,
Mhm.
you're gonna buy my pet peeve every single time.
Exactly. No, exactly. And I mean, I read our comments a lot that people say, I've been using this product for years. I've tried everything and I finally found this and I loved it. I haven't stopped using it since. So I think that that's a huge testament to it too. Like you said, that loyalty to, I think part of why I feel like some of our customers, we have that loyalty one outside of the product working.
Mhm.
Is just that, we're a small family-owned business. I feel like Jarrett has always been very, forthcoming about that. And, on the emails, it's the family Christmas cards. Like that is the environment that we try to go for. And I think that because we feel that loyalty towards our customers, that they feel it from us and they, give it in return. I don't know if maybe that's just
Yeah.
my perspective, but that's kind of how I feel. I feel like we've, curated a very familial kind of
Mhm.
loyalty feeling within the company. So I think that that's a really fun one, and I think that that's a really hard thing for a lot of companies to come by nowadays. So I think
Mhm.
it's really nice that our customers feel that way about my pet
Yeah.
peeve.
And that's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, speaking of my pet peeve, we brought it up a lot. Let's talk about what's going on behind the brand, Allie.
Yes.
I know everyone is dying to know, and we have some exciting news for you guys here. So, Allie and I have been working really hard behind the scenes of putting together, two very important pieces that we want to debut, probably towards the end of this month, beginning of April, and we're really excited to tell you guys a little bit more about that. But basically, I'll speak for our my division with the To the Rescue. I've been interviewing different organizations, different nonprofits, whether they're a shelter or a different type of nonprofit organization or an animal sanctuary or a rescue, and just developing these partnerships as I've been telling you guys about, and I've been telling Allie about, and yeah, almost ready to we're finished with our pilot and almost ready to actually launch it.
Yay!
Yay!
That's so awesome. Oh, I'm so excited for you. That's going to be so great. I know that you have been working so hard on all of that, so I cannot wait to finally see everything start rolling out and all the content, all the fun stuff. So I'm really excited for that, and I'm so happy for you that, watching you put everything together these past few months has been such a fun journey for me too. So I'm really happy that everything's coming
Aw.
together.
Hey, Sally.
Of
Well,
course.
tell me about you. Tell me about yours. I know you're almost done with your pilot as well. You've been
Yes.
talking to different people, figuring out what type of systems and platforms you need. But yeah, tell me about your program and what you're launching.
Absolutely. So I have put together a V1 of our influencer program. Now, we're going to run through it internally, see if there are any little kinks, things that we want to work out. But I'm really excited because I think that it is a really fun way for everyone to feel like it's a community and not just like this, one exchange for an exchange. Like, everyone's a family. And I know this may be a silly one, but my favorite part of this week, honestly, has been setting up my Calendly account. I have been having the greatest time talking with all of these influencers and UGC content creators who have been reaching out to me, and the get to know you chats I've been having with them have been wonderful. And so now I finally have something set up so it's easier for me to have those meetings, and I can hopefully have more of them and talk to more people and learn more about them, learn more about what they do, how they feel, and all that kind of stuff. So it's been so much fun. And like you said, I'm really hopeful to have something ready to kind of announce and start like pushing out towards the end of this month, beginning of next month. So I can't wait. I'm very excited.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Way to go, Allie. So happy and so proud of you. Can't wait to see what your this new division is really gonna look like. And I know it's gonna be spectacular.
I appreciate it. I can't wait.
All right. Are you ready, Allie? This is the truth test right here.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Hot
Hot take.
takes.
Oh my gosh, we did it again.
Okay, I think we finally got it. The hard
Okay.
part, so I don't
That
know
is
if it
just
sounds
one.
good because I'm not gonna lie. I see your countdown, but when I start saying hot takes is like 5 seconds before you start saying hot takes on my end.
Uh-huh.
So to me, it sounds like we're not together, but I know it sounds together on your end. So I knew it worked last time. I was like, we're gonna go with
Yeah.
it. This is gonna be perfect.
Yeah, I think for me it's like I do the countdown and then I'm trying to read your lips to
Yeah.
see, okay, when is she actually gonna start, right? Because it's like it's like how when you play uh what is it? Is it rock, paper, scissors, scissor, paper, rock?
Yes,
Like whatever. You
yes,
play
rock,
that
paper,
and
scissors. Some people
rock,
say
paper, scissors.
says shoot, other people says rock,
Yes,
paper, scissors, and then they go.
they go, right? So it's like, okay, when do you actually start? So maybe we need to do something similar, like three, two, one, start, or three, two,
Yeah.
one, shoot. And it's like hot takes. I don't know.
That's so funny.
It's okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. All
Clifton
right.
posted.
So you guys, this week's hot takes is going to be featuring support questions because Allie has been getting she's been inundated with tons of just support type questions. So we figured, you know what, let's tackle these head on and let's make sure we get your questions answered. So, question one: why is my support ticket closed if it's not been fixed?
So, easy answer, and that is because that is our system's way of saying that we have responded to your support ticket. So when we answer your support ticket on our end in our system, we hit closed so that we know that we've responded to it. The ticket will open back up if you respond to that same email. So even though it may say closed in the email that you get, which I completely understand why, customers would think that that means that the support ticket is completely done. But if you just respond to the email as you would a normal email, it will reopen the support ticket and then you can just keep responding under that same thread. So the closed does not mean that the ticket is closed permanently or completely finalized. All it means is that we've responded to the initial ticket that you sent us and that we're waiting on a response from you.
That makes a lot of sense. So, you guys, all in all, it is just the functionality of our platform. And so we will make sure that your ticket, whether you get something that says closed and it's not actually closed, we're going to make sure you get a resolution. So don't worry about that. Okay,
Absolutely.
awesome. Thank you, Allie. So it's been a month. Where's my product?
I
Where
really
is
love
it?
it. That's how I hear it too. I hope you guys know when I'm
Right.
reading these comments, that's exactly how I'm hearing it from, like, I feel you. So sometimes what ends up happening and what I've been seeing happen a lot is now there are a couple reasons this could happen, but the major one that I've been seeing if you order from our website is there have been shipping issues with UPS and FedEx. It has nothing to do with us. We have no control over it when it happens, but what I've been seeing is a lot of damaged product in shipment. And so what ends up happening with that is UPS will open an investigation or FedEx will open an investigation, and then they handle everything and close it. And then what ends up happening is you don't get your product because the investigation has been open and closed, but we also don't know because we weren't the ones that opened and closed the investigation. It was all done through UPS or FedEx. So when you reach out to us, please know that we would never have you purchase product and not deliver it to your door. If that is what happens, there's usually some sort of issue in the middle of that, normally with either delivery or transportation that we just don't have any control over. But please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We want to, always rectify those situations, replace whatever orders were damaged. It's just not the way that kind of system works is a little tricky. So it is, I just want to make sure that you guys know it's normally a shipment thing and it doesn't really have it's not something that we can fully control.
Yeah. So, all in all, it is not intentional, you guys. We are not doing it on purpose. If that happens, please reach out to us and we'll make it right. Our sincerest apologies for that. We'll make it right. Bottom line. So,
Absolutely.
okay. Awesome. Lastly, I've emailed you, but I've never heard back. What gives?
I promise we're not ignoring you. We are not ignoring you. It is not us. What normally ends up happening is our emails tend to go into spam or junk for some reason. We're also trying to kind of clarify why that may be going on, but we have emailed you back. We do not. Yenin answers support tickets every single day. I want to make that very clear to everybody. There is not a single day that goes by that our support ticket system is not being responded to unless the system is down. So we are looking at them every day, but we do get a very large influx. So you may email us but not get a response for a few hours or maybe till the next day. So always check your spam and junk folder, but please, please know that we are responding to all emails. So if we haven't responded, chances are we either didn't receive the original email, something may have happened, a typo, or we did respond and the email just ended up in your junk or spam folders, which we completely understand is not your primary folder that you look in. So Usually we recommend checking there first before just reaching out to us again, because sometimes it is just in there, but that is usually where it goes. We always respond to support tickets, I promise. Yenin is incredible at her job. She responds to every support ticket.
She absolutely is. Thank you so much for that, Allie. And by next episode, we're hoping to introduce you guys to some of these people that we're always talking about. So hopefully, we get to give them a little feature, and you guys will get a chance to meet them. So yeah, well, awesome. Thank you so much, Allie, for answering all of those support type questions. I know that's something that, like I said, a lot of people have been asking about, and so it's just a hot topic for right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to this week's Coffee Talk. We'll be back next week, and we can't wait to see you then.